Alright, recording. Let's get back to this. Yeah, so I just grabbed that page, and I need to head down there. Boy, is it doing creepy vibes right now in the music.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
Yeah, it looks like I'd have to replay the episode if I wanted to get that one page. I don't think I could just run back and get it, but that's alright.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. It keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me.
Yep, page here.
The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd already been here. In here. More ammo. Discover 5 hidden chests. Finder's keep. I was curious about what the achievement was. Because, I mean, it wasn't going to make sense if it was... Ah, crap. Wasn't going to make sense if it was something like find all of them. Because where they spawned, that might have been sort of a... Not exactly punishment, but sort of for finding that.
And a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
I mean, not really a punishment, but just a, you know, we know you were there.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
Ow. I need to get...
I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me. As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
How many is that for? 25. There's 100, I think. And I'm sure I missed some.
Did you call 911?
Oh, well, that's annoying. See, this is what I mean. When you get surrounded, that dodge is useless.
A good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Shotgun seems like a good idea right now.
Did you call 911?
I'm dead. Okay, I did hit dodge. Come on. Okay. I already know. Alright. What is this?
We take the facts of our existence for
Nights.
granted.
Getting drinking water.
Merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, A Family Occasion. Journalist Alvin Derleth's trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Derleth, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition. But you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Could I really?
Of course, Mr. Derleth.
Well, I guess that's the least What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What did you...
Mr. Derleth, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glorious. Shh, darling, be calm. Shh.
Alvin Derleth learned a harsh lesson. If you go looking for mythology, it may come looking for you. And such quests always bear fruit. In Night Springs.
So I saw something not that long ago that this made me think. That somebody has made a mod for Alien Isolation that will... Well... There's a lot more aliens in it.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Mistimed. I guess they're just gonna keep coming. Oh. I knew it would trigger, I guess realistically best to just... Actually, probably best to do this. can't figure it out. It's very confusing. But I don't know, am I actually supposed to beat it? Because it doesn't seem like that circle ever collapses. And sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's white. The dodge kind of sucks in this game, which, to be fair, it's, you know, not exactly a genre of game where you expect a good dodge, but it sucks. There we go. Alright. I think it got lucky and it drove over the flares enough that it basically killed itself on my flares. Okay. Yeah, I know, I just, want to look around before driving home. That door doesn't even have a handle. Doubt there's anything over there. So let's just get in and go.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now.
Driving and walking.
Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
Okay.
Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
Well, if it didn't feel real, it wouldn't be much insanity now, would it? No, that's not a page. I mean, I might be mean, but I would hide. Well, not necessarily hide, but I would have a collection. So those not paying attention would just go right by. There's something over here. I'll go to it by foot. Chair. With a collectible on it. See? I was right. There's a reward for paying attention, and also for doing a little exploring. And that is what's nice about collectibles, is when placed well, it is a good job you were paying attention. As opposed to, in some cases, where it's a good job you found this one really weird nook that we left in the map. That arguably has no place, has no purpose, but we left it there. Just for people like you.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass, not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. And I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Okay. Now I'll keep with this truck. Okay, I see. That was the fallen bridge over there that I had seen when I was getting the collectible. Whoa! I don't think I've said recently that I'm enjoying the game, but I am, in case anyone wasn't sure.
Welcome back to KBF-FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Well, see, to me, that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or, heck, childish even? There's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything, but what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Okay.
Now, well, I don't disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel, what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
I want to explore. Besides, maybe we'll find more radio. Though I do doubt that there's really much more in the way.
It was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
I know, I need to go somewhere else, but I like exploring. Oh, I thought there were... Okay. Damn, that means I've got 2 missing. Ah.
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Now the real question is, if I do decide to replay to get this stuff, will I also do it on Nightmare so I get everything? Ugh, that's hard. I'm not always a fan of higher difficulties. Depends. I'm trying to remember what game it was. There was a game where it was like, at a higher difficulty, there was it like added a bunch of things, and it's like, okay, if you could have just added this and this mechanic to make it more difficult, I'd be good with that, but this stuff, let me keep that stuff. It's definitely the end of the line for the car. Oh wait, no, that's...
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
And it's also Nightingales... Are they black? Yeah, I wonder if that wasn't actually a volcanic eruption, but some sort of bomb that Zane did. Well, maybe he wrote the eruption so that it would come true and you could bury
I didn't want to go outside.
what's her name? Barbara.
Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
Hey, I got all my stuff.
Wait, where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around
You
by
want
you.
to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello! Ah!
I'm gonna kill him!
Kind of feel like that's
How do we
what's
get to
getting
Mirror
to.
Peak?
That seemed bad.
It was close. Maybe closer than ever before.
I couldn't figure out any other way out, so... Oh, hey, there's stuff here. Yep. I want that. Ow. Really didn't mean to follow that.
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse.
And one thing that's also kind of neat for me about this, because I've been listening to the soundtrack for as long as I've had it. I not constantly, but I do enjoy it, and how some of the songs in it, the lyrics, are relate to this stuff. So it's like I'm finally getting an explanation for a lot of it. Oh. Thought I had already broken the shadow off of him. Guess not. Let's refill on ammo. God crap! Yay, more flashbangs. Except, crap, that means I'm gonna have something that I need them for. Yeah, I was hoping to maybe go back and get ammo. Oh man, you just wait. If I ever do, and I do want to, I just haven't done it yet. Do recordings in Left 4 Dead 2. Oh man, you will see me being so stupidly conservative with that kind of stuff. Like, I will only use the Magnum if I get it, and I will just go through the entire thing, the entire level, the entire campaign, just using. And on the bright side, for anyone wondering, you can snipe well enough with the Magnum in Left 4 Dead 2 to go through the entire campaign using just. I just want to take a bit. Okay. I didn't see that side. Maybe there was a door. But yeah, I am not a speedrun person. There have been times that I have effectively done that.
What the hell?
Well, I already knew from the manuscript something like that would be coming. The kidnapper drops a flare, and I managed to light that to save myself.
The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
Nope. Last one, it seems. Whee! Or maybe not. Checkpoint. Flare and flare gun. Yeah, I'm just gonna run. Hope they don't follow. Ow. Yep. I saw that there was a flash over there. Something to pick up.
Don't forget your lunchbox.
Yep. Okay. Okay. The timer ran out, so if you heard the beeping, that's what it was. Don't need batteries. Let me just... The door I came in through. Okay. Then I will stop here and start here for the next one. Alright, that'll be part 8. Yeah, see you next time.